What's up everybody and welcome to my video. Today I will be explaining the Yugoslavian history in under 10 minutes. So if you guys in high school or college are like, man, why are we learning about Yugoslavia? Well, this basically sums up the whole history in 10 minutes. Also, I want to thank you all for watching. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. You guys make my day always better. No matter what happens, you guys just make me smile. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about Yugoslavia. How it went from a monarchy to a communism and even influenced the fall of the Soviet Union. So picture this. War-torn Europe exits its First World War between the Central Powers and the Triple Entente. So one of the Central Powers, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, or whatever it is. Sorry guys, I'm not big into that, but all their holdings in the Balkans were basically given to the Serbians. And the Serbian kingdom decided to become the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. And this is just amazing. Not quite, because in Yugoslavia there's like 7 different ethnic cultures in there. So you're getting Muslims, you got the Serbs, you got the Macedonians, the Kovascotians, all those people, the Croatians, they're all clashing together, but they're just all ruled under one person, and the first person who became the king was Peter the First. He was on the throne for only 3 years, which was between 1918, well, he died in 1921, but his son, Alexander the First, even though he's not the first in history, there's always been other Alexanders, but he, who had previously handled internal affairs for Mr. Peter, his father, he was crowned king, and he ruled for only 13 years, from 1921 to 1930. But the reason why he stopped is because he was assassinated in Marseille, a place in Yugoslavia. Then his son, Peter II, son of Alexander the First, seized his throne along with regent Prince Paul. They were both in positions of powers from 1934 to 1945, even though the Nazi occupation was still a really bad thing there. They still were in the throne, were in high political power areas, and that stopped until the communists seized power, which leads us into part 2, how the communists took control. So we all know about the Eastern Bloc, right, in the Soviet Union. Well, hopefully we do. Maybe I'll make a video about that later. But when Yugoslavia was liberated by the Soviet Union, they were heavily, and I mean heavily, influenced by the Russians to join the Eastern Bloc. Kind of more like communist countries under control, basically being puppeted, but the GOAT, and yes, I am being very biased, this is the only time I'll be biased in this video, is Tito. The GOAT, Tito, he declined Russia's offers and decided to become a neutral communist power, which helped them out majorly because the Western powers, like, I don't know, Great Britain, France, USA, heard of those? They started helping out the industry, shipping their goods to Yugoslavia, just aiding Yugoslavia after the war, which led to great industrial booms in the Yugoslavian territory, and just overall an amazing place to be at if you can just get by the fact that it's a communism. Most people don't like communisms. But let's firstly talk about the leader of communist Yugoslavia. The only leader, his name was Josip Broz Tito. A simple man, born in Croatia, lived in Croatia. He signed up for the Austro-Hungarian army in the First World War, getting captured by the Russians, and he found communism. It's like how people find religion. He became a communist, adopting Marxist ideologies, which are from Karl Marx, if y'all have never heard of the GOAT. But some people say that he created his own ideology for communism called Titoism, but that's what happened when he gained control in 1945, being the leader of the Communist Party and being viewed as a friend of everybody. He wasn't known as a dictator, he was known as Marshal Tito. He was more like a friend, someone that you'd see at the bar. And he was just an amazing dude. What one thing he did amazingly was unite the ethnic tensions. The ethnic tensions in Yugoslavia were such a massive problem, but him ultimately refusing the Eastern Bloc, becoming a part of it, caused him to get haters, and one of those haters was Stalin. Stalin hated Tito so much, he feared him so much, that he sent assassins to take out Tito, which eventually created the quote, "Stop sending people to kill me. We've already captured 5 of them, one of them with a bomb, another with a rifle. If you don't stop sending killers, I will send one to Moscow, and I won't have to send another." This, long time ago, but decades later, Tito dies of old age in 1980, only 1 year before the Soviet Union collapsed. But let's talk about the aftermath, the impact. So afterwards, it created a domino effect, which led to many communist powers controlled by Russia to leave the USSR, leave the Eastern Bloc, and basically ridding the world of communism except for Asia. Asia is the only place that still has communism as a main government. But let's talk about the ethnic tension. So, I don't know if most of you have been alive for this, but I wasn't. Back in 2006, around that time, there was a war, the Bosnian War, which is a region in Yugoslavia in the Baltics. And what it was is the Serbians in Bosnia were killing the Bosnian Muslims, and the Bosnian Muslims killed the Serbians. It was such a brutal, bloody war that even the United States of America had to step in. They had to help. I'm pretty sure it was George Bush or one of those presidents that was sending aid to Bosnia during this time. But that's all. I hope you have all enjoyed. I hope I can keep on making these content, making history videos in under 10 minutes. And I want to give a shout out to Brayman the Man 561, who kind of looked over the script, made sure it looked a-okay, because he's in like honors. I'm not. I mean, I technically am, but he's in like a higher honors, you know. So make sure you subscribe to him. Yeah, we're both in AP English, so yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.